eyeliner. So I'm going to go in with a bronzer. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Bronzer. I really love it. And I'm going to show you how I maybe used to do it. So I'm going to go in with a big fluffy brush. And I pretty much used to go around my forehead. And then I would just, you know, bronze here. And then I would bronze my neck. I always got taught when I worked on makeup counters, the first counter I worked on, that you do a 3 shape. Okay, so you can see I'm just kind of bronzed, that's fine, going on my cheeks and under my chin, okay? Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and apply my blush now as well. For my blush, I'm going to go in with Charlotte Tilbury again. This is the Cheek to Chic blush in Love is the Drug, so it's quite a pink. Everyone kind of just thinks that you apply it to your cheeks, right? So I'm going to go in with a classic kind of blush brush, and I'm going to swirl that around, and then I'm going to just apply it to my apples, my cheeks. Oh, that's quite a low blush. So I'm going to just blend that out. This is a really standard way to do makeup. You do your 3 shape for your bronzer and then you pat your blush on. Okay, I'm going to show you how I can lift and define my face with bronzer now. So this is bronze, you know, there's a bit of colour in my skin, that's fine, but what I want to do is lift everything up. So I'm going to go in with a slightly more dense brush. This is my Smith 118. I'm going to go in with the bronzer again. And this time I'm going to be a lot more precise, so I'm going to start on my cheekbone and I'm going to keep it super high. Working into the temples, I love making my bronzer meet my eyeshadow. I'm basically working just really high up. Over here you can see I've got bronzer down here, that's doing nothing for my face. So I'm going to keep it nice and high. And then I'm still going to bronze my forehead, but again I'm going to keep it quite high. And I think less is more. Can you believe it? I'm saying that out loud. Less is more. I've already got highlight and all my base on, my foundation, my powder, etc. So it's just going on super smooth. But you can see that's giving me a slight contour, but because it's bronzer, it's a bit warmer. And then I'm going to make, I'm always making the same face with the bronzer. I'm going to make this face. Perfect. And then for my jaw, I'm not going to push it, I'm not going to put it here. I'm going to go underneath my jaw a little bit more. And it's funny because these 5 tips, you know, it's not like one side's going to look absolutely terrible and the other side's going to look phenomenal. It's really subtle, but it still works. Can you see that? Lift. Okay, for blush, I'm going to go in with the same brush. I'm going to go in probably with a similar amount, too much. And then instead of applying right here, I'm going to go on top of my bronzer. And then I'm going to gently bring it onto the top of the face. Obviously, there is no way, there's no wrong way to do makeup. I love putting blush right across my nose, but this, I just think, is so flattering. And again, we're wanting that lift and sculpt and like shape in the face. Can you see the quite cool, isn't it? I'm going to put a wee touch on my nose as well. So we've actually used a really similar amount of product, but here it's just kind of all over the place a little bit. You know, it's okay, but here we're lifted, we're youthful, we're stunning. So that is a really simple way to change the shape of your face using your bronzer and your blush. Okay, moving on. Next step is liner, so I'm going to go ahead and zoom you in. So this is really cool. If you've watched any of my videos before or kind of seen, you know, the odd selfie, you might already know this one. It's liner. So we're going to go in with our liner. I like a felt tip liner. So I'm going to go in with the It Cosmetics Superhero Liner. This is just a really nice brush tip eyeliner. I'm going to show you how I used to do my eyeliner. So I used to do this all the time. Kind of before I really knew my own face, if you know what I mean. So I'm going to go ahead and do a bog standard wing liner. So I'm going to start in here. I used to do my liner like this every day, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. I'm not trying to like make one side of my face look shit, like I said. So there we go. I have quite round eyes, so this accentuates the roundness of my eyes, and I speak about it all the time. But I love the look of a really nice pulled out almond shaped eye. So that's what I'm going to do. So this is how I used to do my liner. What I would do is follow my lash line from the inner corner the whole way along. I would go quite round on the top, bring it down and do a flick. But when I look straight ahead, you can see it kind of drags my eye down a little bit. So I'm going to show you how I do it now. I like to kind of do my wings a little bit more straight out these days. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to go. There we go. So there's the start. It's a bit wobbly. Don't worry about it. And then I'm going to do a half liner. So I'm going to start halfway across my eye, and then I'm going to pull that back. Now it might take you a little bit of practice just to change the shape, like change the way that you do eyeliner, because it definitely took me ages. But if I look into my mirror and then if I look straight, you can see that instead of going right into my inner corner and doing it really round, I'm starting halfway along the eye and I'm dragging it straight out. So when I look like this, you can see that this eye kind of goes down, back up. This eye is just getting pulled out. And the difference with this one, you can really tell when your makeup's finished. So moving on to the next section, lashes. So let me just pop a wee bit of mascara on. I'm going to use the Huda Beauty Legit Lashes. I'm going to use the curl and length side. I'm going to pop a wee bit of mascara on my top lashes just now. And again, there's absolutely nothing wrong, and a lot of eye shapes really suit this wing, and you guys might prefer it. This is all personal preference, but I just really love the way my eyes look when I really pull them out. It's a bit like it's a bit changed. Does that make sense? She's friendly. Oh, she's nice. She's beige. And loads of these tricks are so universal, they'll work for everyone, which I really love. So I've got a touch of mascara on my lashes, that's all I need. And we're going to go in with some falsies. So these are the Tati Lashes TL4 Foamy, so they're the full version of the TL4s. Again, if you know me well, you'll know this trick already, but it's one of my most favourites. It completely changes the shape of your eyes. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply lashes, again, like I used to. Nothing wrong with it at all, and a lot of people really suit it. And I actually do. I like it from time to time. It's just one of the most transformative things with makeup, I think. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim these lashes. So I've just cut them off so it fits my eye. I wear lashes all the time, so I kind of know what size I need to cut them to. And I'm going to glue them up. A little trick for you guys if you struggle to apply your false lashes, once they're glued on, you can just sit them on your liner or where you're going to apply, and then let that dry, and then the glue kind of sticks to the glue. It's a really nice, easy way to do your lashes. And this lash pretty much fits my whole eye. And then again, I let it dry a little bit, and then I'm going to give it a squeeze. There we go. So I used to wear lashes like this every day. Love them, think they're great. But on the other eye, we're going to do the famous half lash. Half lash, I genuinely mean you're going to cut your lash in half. So here's my eyelash. For this eye, I cut off 2 little clusters, but for the other eye, I'm going to literally cut it in half. So all you're left with is this little gadget, this little sprig of lash. And again, we're going to glue it up. My favourite glue is the dual glue, the green glue. So good. The beauty of the half lash is you can do it with any pair of lashes. These are quite full. I love a fuller half lash. You can do whatever you like, guys. There's a theme, there's a general theme in my channel here, and it's do whatever you want, whenever you want. And not only does it completely change your eye shape, it's a very flirty eye, it's a very doe-like eye, you know, back your lashes. It's so easy. Because it's just a half lash, you can almost just stick it to the end. And I like to do it pretty close to the end of my eye, I guess. And I just need to give them a squeeze. Do you know the only thing I don't like about these style of videos is I need to like go fix my makeup after. Okay, so if you see the difference, this eye is quite heavy. So what it does is it drags my eye down a little bit. It also accentuates, again, the natural roundness of my eyes. Whereas this eye looks longer, it looks more feline, and it's a bit more natural as well, I suppose, there's a time and a place for natural makeup. Yeah, it's one of my most favourite tricks, and it's something that I do pretty much nearly every single day. So I just think the difference between the heaviness and then I just think it's great. What do you think? Next I'm going to do is eyebrows. This is another trick that you might have seen from me before, but I just think it's so brilliant. So we're going to go in with this side first, and I'm just going to fill in my eyebrows in a really normal way. I'm going to follow my brow. Again, I'm not going to make it just look shit for the sake of it, but I'm just going to follow my natural brow, and I'm using my Benefit Brow, which is like a pomade, probably one of my favourite ways to do my eyebrows, one of my favourite products. And I'm going to bring that down, I'm going to feather it through the front of my brow, keeping it quite strong, you know, and then I'm going to fill the tail. Just like so. So I would say this is a really standard way to fill out brows. I've followed my natural brow. I've kept it a little bit lighter at the front, which a lot of people do now. And I'm just going to go in with my Gimme Brow to plump up the hairs in the brow, get them set, and fluff them out. This is a pretty normal way to do eyebrows, I think. I think it's really nice. It's just really standard, just fill them in. On the other side, I'm going to show you how I use less product in a more precise way to change the shape of my eyebrows and again lift my face. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in with the same product, and I'm just going to be a bit more strategic. So what we're going to do is we're going gonna define this arch. We're gonna lift the arch up a little bit as well, actually. And then we're gonna drop the front of the brow down. So it kind of goes against everything. You don't want your brows sitting lower, but I actually like to bring the front of my brow down a little bit, which will make the arch and the end of my brow look higher. Okay, so we're gonna go in with a little bit of product. I'm gonna start bringing that down. And I'm going down below where the hair stops, and again I'm going to flip my brush up, and it's not as heavy as well, it's not as much product. Again, we're going to go through the brow just like the other side, and we're going to define the tail. When I'm doing the tail of my brow, I'm really careful that I don't end up drawing down the way, because that's going to pull everything down again. So we're keeping it all nice and high. The brush I'm using is just the Benefit dual-ended brush. It's got the spoolie on the end, but I like it because it's so dense. It's really it's quite a stiff brush, so you can be really precise with your product. And again, I'm just going to bring that down slightly more and just darken it a little bit. And I'm using the side of the brush to flick upwards. And let's go in with our gimme brow, and we're going to do the same. Do you see what lifted, especially with the brow? And the last tip I've got for you is such a difference that lip liner makes, which is just the best ever. I think lip liner is one of my favourite products of all time. It's one of my favourite staple makeup products ever. And I'm going to use two different Charlotte Tilbury lip liners. One is in the shade Pillow Talk, which is a bit lighter and it's a nice pink. And then this one is called Hot Gossip, which is actually what I wore on my wedding day. It's a little bit darker. So I'm going to show you how using a lip liner that's a step or two darker than your lip colour can really enhance and accentuate your lips. This is fun, I feel like I'm teaching. So Pillow Talk, I'm going to go in on this side and we're going to just line our lips normally. I'm going to make a slight mistake, if you will, on this side, which enhances your lips, but maybe not quite in the way that you would want. So I'm going to go around the perimeter of my lip and I'm going to overdraw the whole of my lip. So I'm going to start here, and I'm going to bring it up, and then I'm just going to fill my bottom lip kind of normally. So that's my lip lined. I'm going to do the same on the other side, but I'm going to show you how I kind of change the shape of my lips, I guess. The most important thing is just knowing where you're overdrawing. So I'm going to follow my lip line, the natural lip line, up to here. So that's just following my natural lip line, and then for my Cupid's bow, I'm going to enhance it. So I'm going to go over my Cupid's bow and join up. So that immediately gives a kind of thinner pout in the middle, which is so pretty, and it just works really well. I'm also going to draw that lip liner onto my lip slightly too. And then on the bottom, the same thing. I'm going to slightly overdraw right under there, and then I'm going to join it up. You can already see that one side of my lips is more defined, and the other side is kind of washed out, I guess. And I'm going to go in again, just really crisp that up. And then for my lip colour, I'm going to use the same colour on both sides, and I'm going to show you the difference it makes having a slightly darker lip liner. So this is the Dose of Colours Katie Desi collaboration in the shade Hey Girl. It's just a really nice kind of peachy pink. And I'm going to go in with this side first. So you can see it kind of mostly matches. It's a little bit of a different tone, but that's fine. I'm going to put that in. But when I do that, you can't. And I love to use up the fingertip to pat that lipstick into the lip liner. So technically you're wearing the same colour of lipstick, but this side looks much more defined. There's no harsh